How many times have you hesitated to start something because you thought you needed to be perfect? Maybe it was a business idea, a fitness journey, or even just writing the first page of that book. I know you tell yourself, I'll start when I have it all figured out, or I just need a little bit more time to get it right. And so you wait, and you wait, and you wait. You wait because perfection is a trap. It keeps you frozen in place, and it convinces you that if you can't do something flawlessly, well, then it's not worth doing at all. But the truth is, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to do what is required. Think about a builder working on a house. If he sat there obsessing over every single measurement before laying the first brick, nothing would ever get built. The foundation wouldn't be poured, the walls wouldn't go up, the roof would just remain an idea. But what does the builder do? He starts with the basics. He follows the process, and brick by brick, he creates something real. And the same applies to you. Whether it's a new goal, a skill that you want to master, or a dream you've been pushing aside, the most important thing you can do is take the first step. Because action, not perfection, is what leads to progress. One reason we fall into the perfection trap is fear. We fear judgment, we fear failure, and we fear looking like we don't know what we're doing. But have you ever looked at someone else who was just starting out and thought, wow, they should have been perfect from the start? Of course not. You probably admire their courage for trying. So why do you hold yourself to an impossible standard? Another reason why people wait is that they think perfection equals success. But look at the most successful people in any field. They didn't wait until they were perfect to begin. They took the leap, made mistakes, and adjusted along the way. They all started somewhere, usually far from perfect, but they committed to the process, improving step by step. So how do you break free from perfection mindset and just do what is required? First, you need to redefine success. Instead of seeing success as being flawless, you need to see it as making progress. A rough draft is better than no draft. A short workout is better than no workout. A single step forward is better than standing still. Second, embrace imperfection as part of the process. You won't get everything right the first time, and that's okay. Mistakes are not proof of failure, they are proof that you are trying. And the sooner you start, the sooner you learn, the sooner you grow and improve. Third, focus on action. Just ask yourself, what is the next step I need to take? Not the next 10 steps or the whole plan, just the very next thing that needs to get done, and then do it. If you started today and did just a little bit each day, where could you be in 6 months, a year, or 5 years? But if you keep waiting for the perfect time, where will you be? The answer is right where you are now. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. You just need to take action. Because once you do, you'll realize that progress, not perfection, is what matters. So whatever it is you've been putting off, whatever dream or goal you've been afraid to chase, start now. Do what is required, and the rest will follow. We live in a world addicted to noise. Music in our ears, notifications pinging, videos playing in the background, a constant stream of voices, updates, opinions, and distractions. And most of us, we've become terrified of silence. Because silence forces us to meet the person we've always been avoiding, ourselves. When was the last time you sat still and truly listened to what was going on inside you? Not scrolling, not multitasking, not filling the space with mindless chatter. Just sitting, breathing, hearing the thoughts you keep pushing down. A lot of people are running from themselves, drowning out the discomfort of their own thoughts. Probably afraid of what they might hear if they slow down long enough to actually listen. So they stay busy, they stay noisy. They keep moving, thinking that if they just stay distracted, they won't have to confront what's really there. But here's the secret no one tells you. The silence you're avoiding, it's where all your answers reside. When you finally get quiet, you start to understand what's been holding you back. You start to hear the fears that have been running the show from behind the scenes. You start to notice the dreams you've been ignoring because they felt inconvenient or risky. You start to reconnect with the version of yourself you abandoned trying to keep up with everyone else. And that's where the real power begins. Because clarity doesn't come from adding more noise. It comes from subtraction, from stillness, from asking yourself the hard questions and waiting long enough to hear the answers. Questions like, am I living the life I actually want? Or the one I thought I was supposed to want? What's been bothering me that I keep brushing under the rug? Who am I when no one's watching? And I know it can be uncomfortable. You might not love everything you find when you go inward, but that's the point. Growth doesn't come from pretending. Change doesn't come from avoidance. Transformation starts when you finally sit with the raw, unfiltered truth of where you are and who you've become. Once you stop filling the silence and start listening to yourself, you realize you've had the answers all along. You've been waiting for someone else to give you permission, to hand you the map, to show you the way. But the whole time, it was already inside you, buried under the noise. So if you're feeling stuck, lost, uninspired, maybe the solution isn't doing more. Maybe it's doing less. Maybe it's turning the volume down on the world and turning it up on your own inner voice. Block out the distractions. Sit with silence and listen. Because that voice inside of you, it's not just noise. It's wisdom. It's guidance. It's the key to everything you've been searching for. Stop running. Stop filling the quiet. And finally, hear yourself speak. For those caught in the grip of a trauma bond, it's a cycle of emotional highs and lows. It's confusion and self-doubt. You know something isn't right, yet walking away seems impossible. But let me tell you something right now, you can escape this and you will heal. Escaping a trauma bond isn't just about leaving a relationship or situation. It's about reclaiming yourself, your worth, your strength, and your freedom. It's about breaking free from the chains of manipulation and pain and stepping into a life that reflects the love and respect you truly deserve. Trauma bonds form when moments of kindness, affection, or remorse are interwoven with abuse, neglect, or manipulation. These glimpses of hope convince you to stay, to believe that things might change, even as the cycle repeats itself. It's not weakness that keeps you stuck, it's your hope, your compassion, and your desire to see the good in others. But listen here, you are not responsible for fixing anyone else at the cost of your own well-being. The hardest truth to accept is that breaking free from a trauma bond doesn't start with changing the other person. It starts with changing how you see yourself. It's about stepping into your own power and realizing that you don't have to tolerate pain just to feel love. So let me give you the path to breaking the bond and finding your freedom. First, you got to acknowledge the truth. You can't heal what you refuse to see. So acknowledge the reality of your situation, even if it hurts. Write it down if you need to. Every instance of harm, every broken promise, every time you felt small or unworthy. This isn't about dwelling on pain, it's about clearing the fog of denial and seeing the truth clearly. Step 2 is rebuilding your identity. Trauma bonds erode your sense of self. They make you question your worth and your judgment. Recovery begins with rebuilding that foundation. Who were you before this bond? What dreams did you have? What do you love about yourself? Surround yourself with people and activities that remind you of your value. Step 3 is seek support. You don't have to do this alone. Whether it's a trusted friend, a therapist, or support group, lean on those who understand and want to help you heal. Speaking your truth out loud can be a powerful step towards reclaiming your strength. Step 4 is establish boundaries. This is your armor. Boundaries are the lines that protect your peace and your well-being. They're non-negotiable, and they remind you that your needs and feelings matter. It's okay to say no. It's okay to choose yourself. Step 5 is focus on the present moment. The past can haunt you, and the future can overwhelm you. But the present moment, the here and now, is where your power lies. Each moment you choose to prioritize your healing, each time you resist the urge to return to the bond, you are reclaiming your life. Mindset is everything in this journey. Trauma bonds can make you feel like you're powerless, like you're trapped. Let me remind you, you are stronger than the pain you've endured. Every time you choose to move forward, no matter how small the step, you are proving your strength. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Healing isn't linear, and it's okay to stumble. What matters is that you keep choosing yourself. I want you to imagine your future, a life where your love isn't conditional on someone else's approval. A life where you wake up feeling free, light, and whole. That life is possible for you. It's waiting for you. You've survived the storm. Now it's time to step into the sunshine. And when you look back on this chapter of your life, you won't see the pain. You'll see resilience. The God's honest truth is that people are going to give up on you. It's not fair, but it's fact. Friends are going to drift away. Mentors may move on. And the people you thought would stand by your side might turn their backs when the road gets tough. But the great thing is, you don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need one person, and that person is you. It doesn't matter how many people doubt you. It doesn't matter if the world turns its back. If you have the courage to look in the mirror and say, I believe in myself, then nothing, absolutely nothing can stop you. Because belief is power. Belief is the one thing that turns pain into fuel. Life will bring you pain. It will challenge you. It will put obstacles in your path and ask you, what are you going to do now? That's the moment that defines you. That's the moment when you have two choices. Give up or get up. It sounds simple, but make no mistake, it's hard. It's hard to stand when your legs feel weak. It's hard to rise when the weight of the world is pressing down on you. It's hard to keep moving when the voices in your head are louder than the cheers of the crowd. But those are the moments where greatness is born. Every time you choose to get up, you are writing your story. You are showing yourself what you're made of. You are proving that no setback, no disappointment, no rejection is stronger than your will to rise. People might have given up on you. but they don't decide your destiny. You do. And when you feel like quitting, when the pain feels too big and the dreams feel too far, I want you to remember that pain is not your enemy. Pain is your fuel. Every hurt, every no that you encounter, every failure, it's all energy. Use it. Let it light a fire within you. When they say you can't, let that push you harder. When the door closes, let that drive you to build your own. When you fall, get back up with the kind of force that makes the world take notice. Because this is your life. This is your dream. And no one, no doubter, no critic, no quitter gets to take that from you. So get up every day, even when it's hard. You know what? Especially when it's hard. Get up for the person you're becoming. Get up for the dream you refuse to let die. Get up because you owe it to yourself to see how far you can go. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need the world to believe in you. All you need is you. So when the pain comes, when the odds feel stacked against you, remember, you've only got two choices. Give up or get up. And I know which one you'll choose, because one day the people who gave up on you will say, I never saw it coming. And you'll say, that's because you weren't looking. Many of us struggle with self-doubt and a fear of failure, which can then make us feel stuck and unwilling to take the first step towards change. I get it. But here's the truth. If you never give yourself a chance, you'll never know what you're truly capable of achieving. Self-doubt is like a heavy weight that keeps us grounded in place. It tells us that we're not good enough, that we'll never succeed, and that it's safer or just easier to stay where we are. But imagine if we let go of that weight. What if we allowed ourselves to be brave and take a step forward, even if we're unsure of the outcome? What if we just gave ourselves the chance to discover our true potential? I know starting something new can be intimidating. It's easy to stay comfortable and resist change because of the fear of failing. But think about this. Every successful person you admire, well, they face their own doubts and fears. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that they were fearless, but that they were willing to take a chance despite the fears. When you give yourself a chance, you're not just taking a step into the unknown, you're choosing to believe in yourself, and that belief is powerful. It's like planting a seed. At first, it might seem small and insignificant, but with care, attention, and perseverance, it can grow into something extraordinary. So start with small steps. You don't have to make huge changes all at once. Begin with something manageable that you can commit to. Each step you take will build your confidence and reduce the self-doubt. And as you start to see yourself making progress, you'll find that the fear of failure becomes less daunting. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards growth and improvement. And if you stumble or face setbacks, that's okay. Failure is not the end. It's just a part of the journey. It teaches us, it strengthens us, and it prepares us for even greater things. So I encourage you today to put your fears and doubts aside and give yourself a chance. Believe in your abilities and take the first step towards change. The journey might be challenging, but I promise you it will be worth it. Every moment you spend doubting yourself is a moment you could be using to move closer to your goals. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Take that first step, build momentum, and watch as the self-doubts fade away. but the belief starts with you. Don't be your biggest foe. You deserve better than that. There's a mindset that on the surface, you might feel is the one we need to achieve anything worthwhile. We may even try to initiate this mindset, thinking that if I embrace it, it's going to propel me through the challenges of the day. But the truth is, this mindset is often what holds us back because it's literally setting you up to fail. And what I'm talking about is the idea that what I do, I have to do it my best, or I need to be perfect whenever I'm performing a task. If these thoughts enter your mind, I want you to challenge them right away, because they're going to do more harm than good. Let's tackle each one of these so we can better understand how they're actually hurting us. First, the idea that I need to give my best. Again, on the surface, it sounds like this modus of operandi is ideal. However, what is your best? Your best is subjective. I mean, how often are you really able to give your best? Or rather, when was the last time you felt at 100%? Yes, giving your best sounds great, but the truth is, we are very rarely operating at 100%. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I woke up from a perfect sleep and stepped into my day without any aches or pains. Fact is, we're almost never at 100%. So why do we think that we must give our best when we're never there? I'll expand on this in a minute to give clarification, but let's look at the second mindset I brought up, the idea that what I do, I must be perfect. This expectation is totally setting you up for failure. When the brain hears perfection, it goes into survival mode and looks for ways to keep us safe. So instead of leaping forward with zest and gusto, our brain blocks that energy and very often prevents us from even getting started. After all, with this mindset, what's the point of doing it if I can't do it perfectly? That's the battle that's happening in our minds. Perfection, especially on a daily basis, is totally unrealistic. So block this idea whenever it enters your mind. Both of these mindsets, giving our best or being perfect, stops our progress. So let's expose these mindsets and try another approach. What we need to do is we need to embrace the idea or the importance of just showing up. It's not necessary for you to be at your best. What is necessary is that you do what is required. Big difference. It's not necessary that you be perfect. What is necessary is that you complete the task. I think you'll find that if you just show up and give what you can, you'll actually be giving your best. If you're only at 80%, but you give everything you've got, well, then you've given 100%. It may not be your best, but it's everything that you could give on that day. It wasn't perfect, but you showed up and you finished the job. The daily events individually aren't what matters. It's the accumulation of these daily events over time that make the difference. So stop with the mindset that you have to give your best. Instead, give what you can. And stop with the idea that it has to be perfect. Setting your expectations too high will only prevent you from getting started. Show up, give what you can, and repeat the pattern. It's the best way to achieve your goal. Let me try an experiment with you. Right now, as you're watching or listening to this, just focus on my voice for a second. Okay, here we go. Don't think of the color blue. What color just popped into your head? Let's try another one and see what happens. Okay, this time. Don't think of an elephant. What animal just popped into your head? If you're like 99% of the people out there, you first saw the color blue. Then you saw an elephant. You couldn't help it. Although the question said not to think about it, the brain's instinct was to bring it up. But don't feel bad that you saw the blue, then the elephant, because it's normal, because the brain can't comprehend the idea of negative questioning. The more we say, don't think about something, the more the brain actually focuses on it. So why is this important? Because it's when we focus on our problems, we're actually making the situation worse. The brain can only focus on one thing at a time. So when I'm thinking about all my problems, or the things that I don't have, or what I'm lacking, I can't also be focused on the solutions or how to make things better. So no wonder we feel bad or powerless. We're mostly focused on problems, not solutions. All of our thoughts and emotions are simply controlled by what we're focused on. Have you ever seen the parents trying to console a crying baby? What's the baby focused on? Maybe it's hungry, or needs a diaper change, or just wants some attention. We don't always know exactly, but we do know that the baby's upset and crying. So what the parents will do is sometimes they'll try and shift the baby's focus. Like, have you ever seen parents shake a set of car keys in front of the baby? Sure we have. Then what happens? The baby sees the shiny new object and suddenly forgets about the hunger or whatever and is distracted by the car keys. And when the focus shifts away from what's wrong to something different, the thoughts and the emotions shift with it. Now, we're not babies anymore, but we must use this simple idea for ourselves. When we're sad, depressed, unmotivated, lackluster, whatever, we're simply focused on something negative or disempowering. And when I'm focused on the problems, my thoughts and emotions follow that negativity. This is where the wake-up call has to happen. This is where we have to use our superpower and shift the focus away from the problems to the solutions. When I'm focused on what I want, not what I don't want, I'm going to see, hear, and feel better. Suddenly my power returns and I'm in control. If you don't want to see blue, focus on red. If you don't want to see an elephant, focus on rabbits. If you don't want to see your problems, focus on solutions. There's a war going on that we can all relate to. It's a fierce competition that seems at times can come from nowhere, or it can be triggered on a whim. See, we don't see the battles going on in other people. No, this is an inner conflict. It's the struggle between reality and what our mind perceives as that reality. If you haven't guessed already, I'm talking about that voice in your head that affects your emotional state and therefore your overall energy. I'm talking about the competition that goes on in your mind for control of you. When things are going great, in the mind there's a ceasefire and the war is on pause. The theoretical soldiers can rest and regroup to fight another day. The waters are calm, the winds blow softly, and the sun shines bright. We are content and feeling positive about where we are and where we're headed. But when the flags drop and the fighting resumes, life seems hopeless. While in the middle of the war, things can seem bleak and never-ending. That is the power our minds have over our lives. See, one of the hardest things to do is to pull yourself out of a negative loop. That spiraling feeling of hopelessness and despair. When you feel like it's you against the world and you're all alone to deal with the conditions, it's a fight to bring yourself back to center and ground yourself again with energy. What's troubling is these feelings and that negative voice in your head. They seem to appear from the unknown. In the middle of your day-to-day activities, well, here comes the darkness. It's a mood-shifting, doubt-generating, energy-draining conversation you wished would never start and struggle to conclude. But I want you to know a couple of things. First, you're not alone. Every person on this planet has that inner voice that creates chaos within. After all, the mind is a survival tool, and it'll always find what's wrong and what's lacking and speak to us as if we're not enough. It doesn't speak the truth or reflect reality. If anything, it skews our perspective of our circumstances towards the darkness. Secondly, you have the power to end the battle. You may not believe it while in the midst of the fighting, but your superpower is your ability to take control and bring peace back into your world. When your mind is fixated on the negative, you need to flex your strength and reshift the mind, which will then create a positive domino effect into your emotional state. How you do this is up to you. You can focus on what you have. Reflect on the progress you've made. Get with friends or family, or dance like nobody's watching. The choices are endless. The main thing is this: take control. Be the general and end the battle. But note, it'll only be temporary. This is a war that will resume, but that's okay. Because when it does, you'll be ready with the knowledge that at the end of the day, you are in control and you can handle it.